Good morning, everyone. It's Tom Sidney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here at the Tom Numbers Show in association with Psych.Club. And I have my friend, Mr. SVEN-GÖRAN ERIKSSON here. Sven, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, very good, very good. I'm looking forward to your number, well, your two teams, your numbers 1 to 11 for all-time England, and then kind of rest of the world for all the other players that you've coached and managed. So yeah, I'll say one thing before we start on the numbers. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. England, which you managed, comes to 57, which comes to Tesla. You know the inventor Nikola Tesla, Sven?
No, yeah, I know. Yes, a little bit. Yeah,
yeah. He comes to 57. So I thought that was an interesting one. The name George comes to 57, and the word human 57, which is England 57. So quite interesting that we're all human and we're all England for today. So excellent. All right, Sven, let's kick it off. Who do we have?
Well, shall we start with the players I coached when I lived in England?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then the goalkeeper is not English. He's from Denmark, Kasper Schmeichel. But I coached him in Manchester City and also in Leicester.
Yes. Okay.
He's the best goalkeeper I had over there. The back line, 4, it's Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, and Ashley Cole.
Excellent. Okay. Tell me a little bit more about Kasper. I've met Kasper a few times at dinners. What set him apart? I mean, I have his father, Peter, as my all-time in history #1 for goalkeeper. That's my opinion for Peter. So Kasper, you worked with him. What made him such a great goalkeeper?
You know, when I signed for Manchester City, we had 3 very, very good goalkeepers. ERIKSSON, the Swedish national team. Then we had Kasper, and we had Joe Hart.
Yes, Joe Hart. Yeah, Joe Hart is great.
So in the beginning, 2 of them were injured. So Kasper played, I think he played the first 5-6 games. And then we chose Joe Hart instead. But it was very, very tight, I think. And I always considered Kasper to be one of the best goalkeepers in England. And I could never understand why the big clubs never took him. He's been in Leicester now. I signed him when I became the coach of Leicester.
That's what
he has excellent feet. He has excellent feet. His reaction on the line is outstanding. He's very brave. He understands the game. The only thing they criticize him for is he's not tall enough, they say. But for me, it's never been a problem. So he was, for me, maybe the best goalkeeper I ever coached.
Oh yeah, I think that I'd agree with that. That sounds perfect, because I think Kasper's an amazing goalkeeper.
Yes.
I mean, the abilities for the big games of penalties that he can save, and just that commanding presence. And he's like his dad, you know, he shouts from the back, orders the back line. And I remember actually your good friend Tord Grip. He invited me to come to Manchester City one day when you were there, and I saw Kasper training, and he was a younger man then, and I remember how commanding he was just even in training. You know, he's bellowing across the pitch and very vocal, very, very great. So Kasper Schmeichel, #1. Okay, yes.
The back line, once again, Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, and Ashley Cole.
Okay, take me through Gary Neville. So ex-Man United, ex-England. What set Gary Neville apart from all the other right backs?
Well, he was, even at that time, very, very experienced, had played for Manchester United for a long, long time, and for England. So it was a very easy choice. And I mean, he's a good defender. He was a good defender. And he was also an attacking, modern right back. He could attack and good crosses and things like that. And many times he had very good combinations with the guy playing in front of him, Beckham.
Of course, David. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, Sven. I look at the name Gary Neville, and the word Gary comes to 51 in numbers, which also comes to the word great. So Great Neville, Gary Neville, same numbers. I'm sure Gary might appreciate that if he's watching. But yeah, Great Neville, Gary Neville. So Rio, the Rolls Royce of the player.
Rio, I mean, he was at that time a very modern central defender because he had good feet. As John Terry, also technically very, very good, both of them. And Rio was an excellent header, of course, because he's very tall, good passer of the ball, quick to be a center half, very, very quick. It's difficult to beat him in a run. So easy choice. He was one of the best I ever had.
So, talking of Rio, if I can take your mind back to the Japan-Korea World Cup 2002, I remember Rio playing then, and he was probably one of the players of the tournament, one of the defenders of the tournament, and he matched up against Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo. And on that day, it seemed like, I mean, I know England unfortunately lost to the freaky goal in the end, but I remember that Rio played so well against Ronaldo. Ronaldo was relatively quiet in that game, and he obviously went on to score the 2 goals in the final and won against Germany. But I think then Rio just had, you know, really, which is a big statement, to keep Ronaldo quiet in such a game.
Yeah. I mean, he was he was extremely good for many, many years for England and for United, and before that for Leeds. So, I mean, his career was incredible. I don't know how many games he played in Premier League, but that must be a lot.
Yeah, I think it was 6. I think it's 6 Premier League titles he won with Manchester United. I think
not
it was
bad.
6. Not bad.
Okay, the other one is John Terry then, and I mean,
John. Yeah,
he was an extremely good defender, extremely brave, good tackler, good header, and also rather good technique. I must say, he had good feet.
Yes, yeah. John's a brilliant defender, and
yes.
and the courage he has. He always, you know, he would always put his body on the line. Could score a goal when teams needed it. You know, I remember that goal he scored in the Champions League for Chelsea to help them get through against Barcelona. And John's just a solid man's man, you know, a proper defender, proper bloke. And the word John, actually, interesting enough, comes to 47, which is a favourite, because 47 equals atomic silver. So, you know, you got Gary, that's great, 51, and then John, 47, atomic silver. So it's an interesting one. And then Ashley Cole, probably the world's best left back at the time.
Yeah, Ashley Cole. I mean, he came during my time, because when we started, we didn't really have an outstanding left defender, left back. But during that time, Ashley Cole, young, he came, and I mean, when he started, you could understand this will be a great one, and this will be a member of the England team for a long, long time. And it was like that. He was quick, extremely quick, very, very good left foot, brave. He was not the biggest, but he was tough as well, and attacking, fantastic.
I remember some of the duels that Cristiano Ronaldo, so the other Ronaldo, had against Ashley Cole in some of those Portugal-England games. And Ashley seemed to come out on top, particularly in one of the games. I'm thinking whether it was it the World Cup or the Euro game, but he kept Cristiano Ronaldo very quiet in that game, and a lot of people noticed how good Ashley Cole played against him. Were there any particular things that you said to Ashley during those games against Cristiano Ronaldo that helped him perform so well, or was it just his natural ability?
No, but you know, when you meet players like Ronaldo,
yes,
Ronaldo the Brazilian one or Ronaldo the Portuguese one, both of them. But it's important that you don't let them easily turn with the ball, because once they can turn and have some space, they can dribble you. They are so good with the ball, one-against-one situation. So try to don't let him turn with the ball, and secondly, if he turns, in this case, Ashley Cole, he needs support behind him, because you cannot leave Ronaldo, the Portuguese one, with a lot of space behind in a 1-against-1 situation, because he's too good, too quick, and too good in 1-against-1 situations.
So would John Terry move over to give cover to Ashley Cole?
Terry or a midfielder coming down and helping in these occasions.
Okay, maybe Hargreaves or something. He was all over the pitch, I remember, in some of the games.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we go on?
That's the back four, yeah.
We take all 4 midfielders then in the 4-4-2 formation.
Yes. I think I might know a couple of 2 or 3 who they will be, yeah.
Well, it's easy. It's very easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's David Beckham, it's Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, and Scholesy.
Scholesy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start.
And I mean, individually, it's nothing to talk about, because at that time they were the 4 best midfielders England could produce.
Yes. So everyone knows who David Beckham is, but you obviously had, and maybe still do have, a close relationship with him because he was your England captain and played so well for England. What was it about David that made him captain over and above, say, people like John Terry or Steven Gerrard? They're all great players, but David was your pick, and I was glad.
Yeah, but you know, this team, as we had during these years, there were many captains. Rio could easily, Terry could easily be the captain. Gary Neville could be it. Lampard could be it. Gerrard could be it. So,
yeah.
But for me, it was natural that David Beckham, with his charisma, is probably the most known sport athlete in the world. Everybody knows Beckham wherever you go in the world. Yeah. And I mean, he just didn't. It wasn't just his right foot, which was amazing at that time. He had the best right foot in the world, I guess.
Yes.
But it was his way of managing himself, and I mean, he was super professional and natural captain. People listening when he talks, and he didn't speak very much. He was almost shy, I would say. Mm-hmm. But wherever he went and whatever he did, people just he was so popular that it was, every time you traveled with the team and Beckham was in it, it was more or less chaos. Too many supporters and everybody after Beckham. Yeah. But that's life.
That's
okay.
Life.
Shall we go on?
Sven, just on Beckham's right foot, I heard Joe Cole, one of your old players as well, make a comment, I think just after the Chelsea Real Madrid Champions League game last week. And it was interesting, it caught my attention, but he said that he felt that Trent Alexander-Arnold has a better right foot and a better deliverer of the ball than even David Beckham. And I looked at that and I thought, well, I think Trent's got the possibility, but I would still say Beckham was, in my opinion, was a better deliverer of the ball. What do you feel?
Oof, that was a difficult one. But I think Beckham's right foot, if you remember all the crosses, all the free kicks, corners and things like that, he was at that time outstanding. I don't think there were anyone in the world with that right foot. And we're coming, when we talk about the European team, to another one who was the same, but we're coming there. Okay.
Yeah,
let's go
like
on.
A magic wand, wasn't it? His right foot. I think it was amazing. So magic 176. I think it was just a perfect right foot. Okay, so Gerrard. Yeah, Steven Gerrard.
Well, Steven Gerrard and Lampard, I think we should talk about both of them, because the qualities they had, defending, attacking, delivery, goal scoring, running up and down, box to box, both of them fantastic midfielders. And a player like Gerrard, he could play right, he could play left, he could play right back. He did for some minutes in one of the games. And but yeah, they had everything, these two guys.
One question that always gets asked, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, is people would say that Gerrard and Lampard couldn't play together for England. Now, obviously, I think that's an incorrect statement. I think it was Frank Lampard was interviewed a few years ago, and he was asked a question about it, and he said, no, we definitely could play together. And he felt that even maybe someone like Paul Scholes could have maybe played as a pivot behind the two. Any thoughts on that in hindsight?
No, but of course, I got that question sometimes, and sometimes I ask the press, the media, okay, if you take out the team, who do you put on the bench and who do you put in?
Yeah.
And I never got an answer on that. I mean, of course they could play together. They're very clever, both of them. And if one attacked, the other one stayed. And we never had any problems with that. But I think the people were used to have a sitting defensively central midfielder. And these guys were not that. They went up and down. But of course they can play together. And also when you are a coach, you have to pick these four guys because they are the best individually and in a team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on.
Ben, just to push you on that one. So I love both of those players, Gerrard and Lampard. They're just incredible players. If you had to pick one, though, that you can only choose one to play in the midfield, and you did have like a sitter, who would you have picked?
As a sitter?
Sorry. The question is, if you had to pick Gerrard or Lampard, you can only pick one.
I never ever thought about that because the only way they could play, they didn't play for England during my time if they were injured or suspended or something. In other way, you pick both of them. No doubt.
So you could never decide between the two. Okay.
I never thought about it because it was not in my head to put one of them on the bench. Absolutely not.
Okay. And if you did have to think about it in a hypothetical future team, who would you have picked?
I don't know. Let's go on, Tom.
Okay, we'll go on to Scholesy. Scholesy on the left. Paul Scholes.
Scholes, well, left or central. Gerrard could play left. But Scholes, when he played in that role, he didn't stay there. He was coming in, and that was okay. I mean, Scholes probably overall the best footballer of all of these guys. He was not big and strong. Well, he was rather strong, but he was not big. But he was so clever and so good with the ball. And the timing he had running into the box on crosses and things like that, that was incredible. And a complete, very excellent footballer. And I can understand that. I heard sometimes that Ferguson said that maybe Scholes is one of the best players he ever had. And I understand that because Scholes, he had everything. Right foot, left foot. He understood everything, passing, shooting, entering. He could even defend rather good.
The question with Scholes is, and the observation is people, are you there, Sven?
Yes.
Okay, there you are. People say that, so many players and managers say that Scholes is one of the best players that they've ever played with. And the public, when they view the football match, can see that Scholes was a great player. But would he do things in training that people were just gobsmacked at, that made people think that he was just such an outstanding player?
Yeah, of course. But Tom, everybody knew the quality of Paul Scholes. Everybody knew that he can do whatever you ask him to do. He could play inside, outside. He was a second striker, or he could also play like a sitting midfielder, I'm sure. I never used him like that, but I'm sure he could. Everybody knew around him, all the other players knew the quality of Paul Scholes. That was nothing to discuss. He was an outstanding football player.
Yeah, I've heard Zinedine Zidane referred to him as the best midfielder at the time in the world, and other great players, and they all seem to ruin it. You ask them, they all say Satnav, Paul Scholes was the best player. They all seem to say it. So how did it, what was, when he retired, because he retired relatively early from England, how did that, I mean, did you try to, I'm sure you had the conversation with him trying to keep him there, or did you, or, you know, what was the discussion?
It was after the tournament in Portugal, the same day or the morning after, when we were knocked out by Portugal. He came into my room and he said that he's going to say no to the England team forever, I suppose, he said. And I was surprised. And the reason, I understood the reason. He didn't want to be in these tournaments a long time. He didn't like to stay in a hotel. He didn't like to be without his family, his children, and so on. Very much a family man. And also one thing more, when it became very hot temperature, which normally it is during a World Cup, or he suffered because he couldn't handle the heat very much, and rarely he could play 90 minutes when the temperature was too high, and that was a pity, of course. Okay. But I told him to think about it, and when the next season started, I'm coming up and speak to you. I said, please think about it. And I went to see him and talk to him, and he said, no, Sven, I going to retire from national team, unfortunately.
He's talking about his the heat. Did I hear correctly? Did Scholes, did he have asthma? Did he have a, you know, he did? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that something that he always had, or did that come on later in his career?
I don't know that question, Tom. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, but he suffered the heat, and he was not, when it was very hot, he never was at his best, even if he was good.
So the forwards?
Yeah, it's very easy, the two strikers, I think. During my time, the two best were Rooney and Michael Owen.
Okay.
Different players, but both of them goal scorers. And I think maybe still Rooney is the best goal scorer for England. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think he's the best or second best or whatever it is. And he was unlucky in this tournament. He was injured. He was sent off once during my time, and that was a pity, because with him on the pitch, I think we would have gone to the semi-final. And he became injured 2006, I think it was. So he was not at his best, but very important player, all-round player, mentally extremely strong. Even as a 17-year-old boy, he had was very confident that he could do anything, and he could beat anyone, and things like that. And that's not normal with a 17, 18-year-old boy. But he was ready mentally as a football player very early in his career.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah, of course. And I hear sometimes that they criticize him, but he was at that time, and maybe still, the best goal scorer of England and the best goal scorer of Manchester United. What do you want more from a player?
Yeah,
incredible.
He's got both records still. Yeah. And and then Michael Owen.
Well, Michael Owen, he was the great match.
There you go, back again.
Yeah, Michael Owen, he was a great match winner. He could play so-and-so during 88 minutes, and suddenly, boom, there he is.
Yes. 88 minutes and boom, 88, great.
Yeah, and you know, with him on the pitch, he will always have 1, 2, 3 chances to score. And if he had got 3 chances, he will score 2, normally. Yeah. Because born killer. and I mean a very, very good guy to have in the squad. Never created any problems. Unfortunately, he got injured when he got a little bit older. Too many injuries for him, and that was, I think, as a top forward in the world, he could have stayed longer, but the injury was a problem for him.
Yeah,
but
Ballon
he,
d'Or. Yeah,
he for me is, well, you never discussed Michael Owen. Everybody knew that this guy, he will score a goal. Normally.
Yeah, incredible. And he was the pivotal figure in that 5-1 against Germany for you in Munich.
Incredible. Yeah.
The hat trick. Excellent. Well, that's a great team there, Sven, for England. Can I just ask one question on the goalkeeper? If you had to pick an English goalkeeper for England, would it be David James or Paul Robinson?
David James, he had everything, but he did some mistakes now and then. But physically, mentally, he was a great keeper. Yeah, Seaman, I would have.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry,
if
David.
it was,
I forgot you. I forgot David. Yeah, David Seaman. Yeah.
If it was some years earlier, when I got him, he was on his way down a little bit. He was not as good as he'd been for Arsenal and for England during, I don't know how many years, a lot of years, and he was the best. He was the best, but he was on his way down when I started with England.
Okay, so David Seaman or David James?
Yes, one of them.
Not going to sit on the fence. Okay, cool. All right. So the other team.
Well, it should be very interesting to see these teams playing against each other, and I really don't know who would win it.
Oh, you're back again, Sven. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, it's phone calls coming in. I have meetings with other people. Yep. Okay. The other team is very offensive, an attacking team. And probably the goalkeeper and the right back, you don't know that. The goalkeeper, Bento, I had him in Benfica early 80s. And he was a fantastic goalkeeper. He was not tall, but he could jump. He had good feet. He was a modern footballer. He liked to play outside during training. He didn't like to stay in goal. But excellent in everything he was. The right back, also from Benfica, the early 80s, Pietra. He was very similar to Gary Neville. The same attacking mentality, quick feet, good right foot, and rather good defender as well.
Pietra, you say his name is?
Pietra.
Okay. And he was what, Portuguese?
In Portuguese, yeah. Both these were Portuguese. But all the others here are coming with, I think you know.
Okay.
The two center halves, which could compete with Rio Ferdinand and John Terry, is Nesta and Mihailovic.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about Beckham's right foot, the best in the world. Yeah. Before I was in England, I had Lazio, Sampdoria and Lazio, and I brought Mihailovic with me to Lazio. And he, at that time, had the best left foot in the world. Free kicks, crosses, but free kicks, incredible, his left foot. And to have such a left foot as a central defender, he could play short, he could play long. He just shouted at people up there, run, and the ball will come. Don't talk, run. So, very good. And Nesta, I think Nesta was one of the best defenders in the world at that time. He was rather young when I had him, tall, quick, extremely good tackler, and good with the ball as well. Very similar to Rio Ferdinand, I would say.
Excellent.
Left back, Roma, Nela. He was a big guy, not very tall, but extremely strong. Muscles, like a bodybuilder almost. And he had a very good left foot, and he He attacked a lot. Very good footballer and a very good left defender.
Naylor, was he Italian? What country?
He was Italian. He played for Italian national team, and he played for Roma for many years. He played in the Champions League final against Liverpool, 1984, I think it was, when Roma lost and Liverpool won, but he played there. Well, 4 midfielders, which Veron, Mancini, Baggio, and Nedved.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
What do you say about the quality there?
Amazing.
That's amazing. All 4 of them. And I mean, Baggio more offensively. Mancini could play number 10, but could also play central midfielder. I think I used him as a central midfielder with Lazio, the year Lazio won the league. I think he played there for 18, 19 games. And I don't think we lost 1 game at that moment. Veron, you know Veron, and unfortunately Veron, and I don't know why, he was never successful in England. He played for United and he played for Chelsea, I think.
Yes.
But he was not the Veron I knew from Sampdoria and from Lazio. I mean, in Lazio, he was incredible good. And then you had Baggio. Well, Baggio.
Yeah.
Give him the ball, and if he turns up, he will beat anyone.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah,
he was fantastic. Very, very good.
But what was the? Would you say? Well, maybe we'll ask at the end. But Baggio was just an outstanding player, incredible player, and he could dribble and break defensive lines. And he dragged, in my opinion, he dragged Italy to the World Cup final in '94. Without him, they get nowhere near the final. Yeah,
I think you're right. And you know who was sitting on the bench there was Mancini, because according to Sacchi, the coach, they couldn't play together, he thought. And I think that was a pity, but that was how it worked. He considered Baggio at Mancini. What?
What team did you have Baggio at?
Fiorentina.
Oh yes, Fiorentina. Yeah.
We bought him from a small team, and he was a young guy, 18, 19.
Yeah.
But you could see at once that this player is something very, very special.
So he was the world record transfer that you bought him at. Is that right?
What did you say?
Did you buy him with the world record transfer fee at the time? I think when everyone heard about Baggio.
I'm not sure how much he costed Fiorentina there, but a lot. But after a couple of years, 3 years, I think, he was sold to Juventus. So they got the money back for sure.
Yes.
Then we have Nedved.
Patrick Swayze, Nedved, yeah, brilliant.
Oh, super professional. I remember I had him in Lazio. I remember that we had won the league and we went for holiday. And after 1 week, the kitman phoned me. I was in Sweden. Kitman from the training ground in Lazio. He phoned me. What shall I do? Nedved is here. He wants to train. I said, give the phone. I want to speak to him. And I told him, Nedved, you've been running. You have played every game and you won everything. You have to rest and you don't dare to put the boots on and go out running. And he said, I don't want to be on holiday. I don't want to go to the beach. I'm fed up. So that was him. He was so professional, and I'm not surprised that he's chairman or vice chairman in Juventus today, because he lives for his football and lives for an athlete.
And he won the Ballon d'Or, didn't he? He was Ballon d'Or winner.
I think he did, yes. Yeah. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah, incredible player.
Yeah.
So 2 strikers.
2 strikers. Rud Gullit. Trulit.
Yes.
I had him in Sampdoria for 2 years, and he had everything. He and Van Basten and Rijkaard. all three of them, when they played for Milan and for Holland, they were 190 tall, quick, good headers, all three of them, could dribble, all three of them, understand the game, all three of them. So, I mean...
Gullit was like a thoroughbred racehorse, the way he
but I think
ran around the pitch, you know, with so much skill.
When he signed for Chelsea, I think he should have gone to England earlier, because he signed and he was on his way a little bit down, even if he was very, very good.
Yes. Yeah.
The last one, you will not know him. I had him in Gothenburg, 1980 to 1982. And he won the UEFA Cup, was it called at that time? Today it's Europa League.
Yeah.
He won that for Gothenburg.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good football players, but he was outstanding. He was like...
what was his name?
Torbjörn Nilsson.
Oh, yeah.
He was tall like Gullit or Rijkaard. He was a target player. He could dribble. He was quick. He scored goals. And I remember during that year when Gothenburg won everything, we had a scout from Liverpool following him for 1 month. Every training, every match, and they wanted to buy him at the end. He said no, and I think Liverpool bought Ian Rush instead of him.
Okay.
But he was that good. Roma wanted him. 2 or 3 German clubs wanted him, and Benfica, I went to Benfica, I wanted him.
Yes.
But he said no to everything. He went to Kaiserslautern, and that was a huge mistake, but anyhow. So people don't remember him, but everybody who played with him or against him knew that this guy is incredible. We played a friendly game before the semi-final in UEFA Cup against Southampton on a bad pitch in Southampton. And who was a manager of Southampton at that time? A famous one.
Laurie McMenemy?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the final result in that friendly game finished 4-4. And I think Torbjörn scored 4 goals. So Torbjörn Nilsson scored 4 goals. So when I went into the dressing room, the manager of Southampton was already there. And he said, Sven, what's the price? How much for him? We buy him now, he said. He said, I haven't seen a striker like that in almost all my life, he said. So that's a good 11.
That's a good 11, Sven. So did you ever work with Klinsmann? Was Klinsmann with you at any team?
No. He played for Bayern Munich, and then he went to Inter. Yes. I never played together with against him many times when he was in Inter.
Yes. So who would win out of those 2 teams, Sven? If they're in a final, who would win?
You are a specialist. It's up to you.
Oh, I'm a specialist in my own head,
sure,
but you proved you're a specialist on the global stage, so you're the one with, you know.
For sure, it will be a lot of good football out there. I don't know. 2-2.
2-2. There you go. That's a good number, 2-2. And if you had to pick a player that you've worked with in either team, who would you say was the very, very best player out of all of those players you've ever worked with?
Whoever I choose will be right, but I don't want to do that because it's like offending all the others.
All the other children.
If I say Beckham, Rooney would say, why didn't you pick me? If I say Baggio, Nedved would say, why don't you pick me? So no, it's better not. All these players, and I'm a lucky man. I was a manager of these guys during some years, and it's incredible when you look at them. And then I could put up another 11. But
Well,
we
well
will
maybe
not
we'll do that in a third episode in a couple of weeks' time, Sven, and we'll do
I
another.
will see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Tom, I have to
Thanks
run.
very much, Sven. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you. And
Thank you.
maybe
Bye.
in future we'll do a historic, all of history 1 to 11, maybe in a few weeks' time. But have a great few weeks. Thanks, Sven. God bless you.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.